Let's bring in the Einstein of Wall Street himself, the institution inside the institution. This is weak breadth. This is weak volume across the tape. But what do you see as you look up for the markets in our final Tuesday of the year, Peter?
You know what? I don't like to use the word weak because there's nothing weak about this market. This market is closing out the year after 52 record highs this year across the board on all the indices, right? We've got the Dow up 24%, the S&P up 17%, Nasdaq up 25%. Silver up 1,000%, gold up 1,400%. There's nothing weak about those numbers, right? So one day does not make a market by any means. I think, it feels like everyone had such a good year. These are normally really busy days. I think everyone had such a good year that they're all on St. Bart's relaxing and already on vacation.
That sounds nice.
That's kind of my gut. I mean, yes, there's no breath, but at the same time, it's very shallow on the buy side and the sell side. Right, I think they've given us, coming out of the gate, if we sort of go over, the last month, I think it's impressive how we came out of the sort of doldrums of Thanksgiving, of that mid-November sort of, cataclysm, I would call it, or whatever. And then we had good numbers on retail, and then we had the Fed chair, come around and do another cut. We did see some news today that was kind of interesting that said that they just passed that cutting interest rates by just a small hair. Yeah. That there was so much dissent amongst the rank that most people felt we did not need to cut. Now, what does that tell us? That tells us that the economy is actually doing better. Right? They cut interest rates as a reflection of a softer economy, right? And so the fact that nobody really wanted to cut, but they kind of just did it because it was maybe pressure from the White House and whatnot, showed that actually, the market is strong and the economy is strong. And it's stronger than people thought, and I think that's a good sign. So we're going to close out the year with a lot of positivity.
What are the other catalysts that you'll be looking for, not just for tomorrow, New Year's Eve, but as we turn the page here to 2026? We are expecting a good bit of kind of fiscal stimulus into the system from the reconciliation bill, presumably a more dovish Federal Reserve than we've had in the past. What else do you look for to give you a sense on how the markets will shape up for the new year?
So, as I speak to my friend Dan Ives about it, we were trying to figure out, is this window dressing? Is this profit taking? Is this, what is it? What are these last couple of weeks? Because that, the market can do that, right? Markets that are higher up, people tend to have some rotation, there's some profit taking, there's some tax harvesting and whatnot. This year they didn't need to do any of that. What he believes people are setting themselves up with is a really bullish January, that people are basically setting themselves up for a really strong tech market coming out of the gate in January. Because we have a very dovish Fed to look forward to, that we do have a lot of reversal on that sort of positive, that negativity coming out of the data centers. We are finding that the next move is going to be an energy play around data centers and whatnot. So I think there's a lot of positivity to the first quarter being solid. So people are buying stocks not for any other reason that they want to position themselves into the gate.
I got about a minute left with you. Let's leave the markets to the side. Tomorrow we got one of our favorite big board traditions. Yes. Wait till the sunshine, Nelly, comes Nelly. You've been down here a long time. What does this tradition mean for people who don't know? What does it mean to you?
So it means a lot to me, actually. I sort of was reflecting the other day that, I can't believe I'm that guy who's one of the big participants in keeping this tradition alive. By nature, I'm a humanist and a traditionalist, and so it's really exciting. We lost Arthur Cashin this year, and so we will be reflecting on that and honoring him in so many ways. The McGuire children will be here, the Cashin children will be here, and so keeping a tradition that goes back over 100 years, and basically the song, my understanding of the song, even though none of us know the words after 40 years, after 100 years, is that, in the times of darkness, that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah. And so even though this year there were times during this year, whether it was, the sort of self-imposed crazy mini crash in February, March, and April, and a number of times government shutdown and whatnot, that, at the end of the day, markets are resilient, humans are resilient, and we're going to come out of this year really strong. And so tomorrow we have 125 old members coming. We're going to be live on CNBC with Bob Pisani. I am actually filming it. I'm going to make a small documentary about it, which you're going to be in. Great. And we're going to have it, for eternity in the archives of the NYSE. So because a lot of these guys are in their 80s and 90s. Yep. I'm nowhere near that, even though they put my birthday up as a happy 80 the other day. But it's a tradition that's gone on and will go on forever.
And we're looking forward to, keeping the history alive at this tremendous institution. Nothing embodies that better than this annual New Year's Eve tradition.
Wait till the sun shines, Nelly. We'll all be singing it, and we still don't know the words.
And I hope maybe tomorrow's the year we finally figure it out.
Even when we print up the words, nobody remembers.
Peter Tuchman, thank you. We'll see you tomorrow for the song. Thank you for everything this year.
Pleasure.
Great to have you.
Thank you.